Hello everybody, I am back with another video. Alright. Alright, yeah. I'm sorry guys, there's something there. Alright. Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. I'm sorry there's something that I had to get done. As you can see from the title up there, I'm sorry that I haven't posted in a while. I just got bored and there's not a lot of fun to do on YouTube whenever you get bored and stuff. So alright everybody, so now that I'm back, as you can see from the title, it's what if this guy from Demon Slayer was a prodigy. That's right. So you know how like he has like this smell. Well, he's also gonna have the sight that the guy has whenever they're fighting the demons at that place. I remember it. He has super. He also has super hearing, and he can like that guy with like the boar head who can like sense everything. He's gonna have that too. Alright, so he's gonna have all of those things. Okay. Alright, and since he is a prodigy and stuff, so whenever he's little, he's actually going to like work out more and try to like slice through stuff with like bamboo because he wants to get stronger so he can carry more coal. Right? So he like trains and trains and trains up until the day where he goes and his family and the sister and the brother want to go with him, but they say no. I mean, he says no because they can't keep up with him, so he leaves. Right? Oh my gosh! Right. He leaves to go to the town like normal. He goes to the town. He does everything else, and he can remember he has super hearing and sight and everything, so he can see from like far away. Alright, just if he wants to. If he wants to see far away, he can. He can also get rid of it and like stop. But it's like he can do it on will. But the smell is just like normal. It just like stays with him. But he can turn off the rest. So, like in the original, he asked for coal, and he said, and then the people, that kid with the broken vase is like, look, can you smell this? Because his mom's beating him. I like that. That was super funny. He's like, his mom was like, he's like, smell this. And he's like, it does smell like a cat. Oh, so I guess you really didn't do it. See? Alright. And then he goes back. Like I said, he goes back. He's walking back to his house. But then he gets stopped by that person. That old guy that tells him, come in before the demons come. And remember, at this point, he doesn't believe that there is demons. So, he still just goes there because he doesn't want to do anything for his hospitality. So, he stays there with them, and just like in the original, he says everything else the same. About, like, the demon slayers and stuff like that. And then he starts walking back home. And then he smells something. He smells blood. So then he uses his that sensory thing, and then he senses everything, and he feels places and things, and then he uses his sight, and then he can see at his house what was happening. So he runs as fast as he can, and the smell keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and then he sees it. His whole family is massacred. But he still uses the smell, and he still picks up that demon guy. I don't remember his name, but the really big demon guy. Yeah, him. He still smells him. Alright, and he looks everywhere and sees the whole family is dead. Right, and then the demon girl, his sister jumps at him and tries to like attack him. Remember, in this one, he's more of a prodigy. He's prodigy. And remember, he's been working out and doing stuff, so he uses his axe, and he's actually holding his own against her for like quite a while until she starts like beefing up. Then he's starting to like slowly get outmatched. But like in the original, they both fall off, and then they still keep on fighting. But in this one, the guy still comes down. The demon slayer still comes down and tries to kill the demon sister. In this one, the prodigy brother, he still tries to like save her and everything. He's trying to like save her, and he goes in with the axe and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, he's fighting him, and the demon slayer actually sees some potential in this kid because he's like quite very strong. And remember, he has sensory sight and all the other stuff. So yeah, he's pretty strong, and so he still knocks him out easy. And then the demon girl still blocks his brother because she still wants to save her big brother. And everything goes the same, where he knocks her out and puts the bamboo in her mouth with like a note. And then the kid wakes up and then sees the note, and then it says, "Go to this place," so he can meet that old guy with like the mask. I don't remember his name either. Man, I need to remember these names. Okay, so and then they get set on their adventure, but they can only do it in the nighttime. So, all right, guys. Sorry I paused it again. I just need to keep on like rewatching the episodes while I do this because I kind of forgot it all about him. Alright, so remember, they're going up the hill to go find that old guy with like the mask, right? And they have to go. They're traveling, and then they find little Nezuko. I remember the name now, Nezuko. In like a little cave, and she digs a hole. And he's like, "Is my kid sister becoming a mole now?" Right? And then they start going, right? And then they meet this old lady with like a little kid, and says, "You shouldn't be going out this late." And she's like, "We'll be fine." And then they start slowly getting up to the top. And he's like, "I can smell blood." And then he runs up and then sees a demon feasting on some people. Right? Right. Alright, so he's feasting, and she's like, "You guys." He sees Nezuko and sees the other kid. And just like yeah, but this one, whenever he attacks the Demon Slayer kid, he actually loses more than just his like a little cut. He also gets his arm. He cuts his neck and his arm when he falls down. So his arm is off, and then he cut his neck a little bit. And he's like, "Wow, I'm impressed." And he's like, "Oh well, I'll be fine." And then he starts healing his arm and his neck. And then Nezuko is still doing the same thing where she's like drooling and stuff. Ugh. I didn't like when she started drooling. I thought it was gross. Alright, just making sure that that thing was going, because I don't want to have to do this all over again. Wait. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I changed the thing because just something happened. Like I said, he's actually got his arm in, like he healed, and Nezuko's still drooling. Right? And then they start getting in like another battle. Remember, he still is only human without taking like the exams or getting trained, so he still gets overpowered by the demon. And Nezuko still kicks his head off. Kicks his head off, right? Right. And he kicks his head off, right? And everybody is, and the demon slayer kid's like, "What?" And then the demon's like, "Yeah, I knew it. Why are you with a human?" Because now he knows that she is a demon. She's a demon. She's a demon. Right? She's a demon. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And then, just like in the original, but this one goes with like a little bit less of like a fighting scene where Nezuko and the other demons are fighting and stuff. And then, instead of Nezuko just like completely losing her, the brother comes up and starts like hatchering it's him, just like cutting him a little bit and slicing until, just like in the original, he throws the axe and he gets like around, he cuts his head off and then it's on the tree, right? Just like in the original, and he's stuck there because the rest of his body was just like destroyed whenever they were fighting. Yeah, so it's like in the original. Alright, so like in the original, but in this one, he's more like more, let's say he's like more sensitive, and now he hates demons a little bit more now. So instead of him like hesitating a little bit, he still hesitates for like a couple seconds, but then he decides just to slice. And then Nezuko runs into the house before it becomes morning, and then the old guy shows up with like the mask. He shows up. Alright, so unlike the original, the guy actually compliments that he actually had like the guts to like actually like kill him, like except for like the other one, like the original. Yeah. But in this timeline now, he's still gonna go through the training and stuff, so he takes him up to the top of the mountain with like all the traps. And since now he has sensory and everything like that, it's a lot easier than him just having to like smell out all the traps. Remember, in this one he's more agile. So, because he's like working out and stuff like that, he's more agile and stuff like that. So he actually does the traps easier, but that does not mean that he goes unharmed. He still gets cut a few times and hit a few times and stuff like that. Yeah, he gets a cut, hit a few times like by like the wood and stuff. He still gets hit quite a bit, but not as much, and he's not as in much as pain. So, yeah. Everybody, I totally forgot to tell you this, but except for him being like what I said, like he's all heartless and he actually wants to kill demons, he's not heartless to all of them, right? Only some of them. Like this guy, because he tried to eat his sister. That's the only one that I'm gonna make an exception for, where he actually gets mad and actually kills it without doing like the sad eyes. And he's still like the nice person that we all know and stuff, but he was mad that he was hurting his sister, so he got really mad and just went. Alright, I just wanted to put that out there. Alright, he does the same thing with like all the training. He still goes down the mountain, he goes down the mountain with a sword, and he actually gets easier without him even only getting hit twice instead of getting hit by like 20 times. He's only getting hit by it twice every round. And unlike the original, when he swings it 1,500 times, he swings it 4,000 times. The teacher only says to do it 1,500 times, but like he wants to push himself harder so he can go find the guy who did this to his sister and murdered his family. So he swings and swings and swings until his arms feel like they're gonna burst. Alright. He also does the thing with like the waterfall, and he's like, you have to feel like the water. And then he pushes him in. I'm doing this for Nezuko! And then he falls. And he still does all the training and stuff. They still call the doctor to see Nezuko. And he still trains as hard as he can. Well, he trains harder than what he did in the original by like 4 times because he's pushing himself. Plus the other guy. He was only doing the bare minimum for the old man with like the mask. He only did the bare minimum, but now he's going farther and beyond. So he's gonna get a lot stronger. And remember, in the original, this was only in a year span. But in this one, since he's like more like prepared and has more like body type, he still takes quite a bit of time, but he didn't take a year. He takes like 6 months, like half of the time they did in the original, to get to where he is, where he's slicing where he's actually like, whenever he's actually teaching how to use like the demon thing, where he's like holds his breath and stuff, like concentrated breathing. Yeah. And then the dude shows him the rock. Alright? after like a month of help of, remember, the old man still was helping him do like the training thing, but he's like, I've always heard about this one thing that he heard a rumor about concentrated breathing that helps him, like people like have like super strength like a demon. So yeah, he asked and he's like, can you show me? And remember, he trains it with himself by his own for a month of concentrated breathing, right? And then he starts using it like a couple times whenever his lungs are starting to like pass out and stuff. So he gets on doing it and doing it and doing it, right? And he's trying his very hardest to do it. And then he sees the rock. And he's like, whoa. It's so big, right? And remember, this is bigger than the original rock because he knows that he's stronger. He is stronger, but he doesn't want to like let him go alone without making sure that he's completely ready. The other one was like big, but this one is twice the size of that, right? So just like the original, everything else happens. He's still training and stuff, and he meets the kid, or like the math and stuff, and the little girl. What's on like the rock? He still meets them, and on the first time he's like, I already broke my rock. And then he looks at him, and then just like in the middle, they do like a sparring thing. But in this one, he actually puts up more of a fight than the other kid really thought he would, right? And he actually, on the first one, he almost beat him. It was a tie. He almost beat him. He wasn't expecting that this kid who just started was actually was almost beating him, right? And that's a pretty big thing. Remember, he can also smell, he can also see really good, and he can also sensory. And now that he's actually like helped with like a smell, let's say that now since he's been training his smell, because Mr. Kodaki, I remember his name, Mr. Kodaki. Mr. Kodaki has been teaching him to have like help with like the smelling and stuff. Now he can smell emotions and stuff like that. Remember how like Mr. Kodaki can? He smells like emotions and stuff like that. Yeah, he's pretty strong. Mr. Kodaki's pretty strong, right? And the kid's like actually kind of impressed and stuff like that. Alright. And then the kid slowly like starts chipping away at the thing. But whenever he knows he couldn't do it, then he starts doing more concentrated breathing and stuff like that. Also training. And then one day he's able to go a whole day, no, not a whole day, like half of the day with doing concentrated breathing, and he's actually impressed. So then he tries to do the rock again, and then he actually slices it in half. Remember, this is twice the size of the normal one, and it took him about a year to 2 years practicing on hitting the thing, and now he's ascended. And then Mr. Kodaki is like, okay, well then I guess it's time for you to go, and I'll tell them to do like the entry thing. But he's like, no, he wants to be taught by more strong people so he knows that he can actually beat it. So he goes to like another trainer, right? That person that trained the yellow-haired kid. I don't know the dude's name. The yellow-haired kid with like the lightning thing who has like a separate personality because he got struck by lightning on a tree. He goes to that teacher because Mr. Kodaki is like, he was a pretty good teacher and he has pretty good hearing, just like he has. Right? So he goes there too. And then actually in this one he learns more than just the I don't know how many he's learned 12. All of the water things, like water things, and now he's going to the lightning place where he has all the lightning, where he's gonna train there. So immediately the teacher like sees a big interest in this kid because he's a very good student, he's very strong and stuff, and that inspires the yellow-haired kid, right? Inspires the yellow-haired kid. And then he does everything the same, and now in this one he gets trained instead of this one. Remember how the kid only had one of them? He has 5 of them until he learned 6 of them. So he learned 6 of them, before he leaves and goes back to Mr. Kodaki because he thinks he's ready to go. And since the teacher saw the other kid and said he was gonna get sent there, so he's like, maybe I should, maybe you should go too. And he's like, what? Why should I go? And it's like, he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's like super strong. It's fine, just go. Man, all you want to do is kill me. All of you, I totally forgot to tell you, he left Nezuko with the guy because he actually trusts the guy, so he leaves to go train with the other guy for like a couple months, and then he comes back to Nezuko. I forgot to tell you, he learned all of the lightning style things. Remember, he's a prodigy, he picks up things like really fast. Yeah. So now he goes back and he wants to go get his new no. He says he wants to go to the final exam, to the final selection. So he actually does go to the final selection. And remember, he also has a sword. Remember that sword that he had from the teacher? I don't know his name. Mr. Kodaki. He gets the sword from Mr. Kodaki and then takes it with him to go to final selection. Remember, he's also still trying, in this one, he's still trying to help his sister out, but he's also wants to become a cool demon slayer so we can help people that have went through the same things as he has. Because he doesn't wish that upon anyone. So whenever you get to final selection, he asks Mr. Kodaki if he thinks there's any way to change her back. And he's like, maybe a demon might know. And then he's like, okay, so he goes to final selection and asks him like demons, the same thing. Alright. Remember, there are two people that were like dead, the Mr. Kodaki's future people. And remember, he still caught their names, and he says, tell this person and that person that I said hi. And he's like, how does he know the names of the dead? Right? It was like in the original. And in that part, they go to the final selection. He sees everyone there. Everything's good and Gucci. Alright, so everything's better. They go back, they go into the play. And then he still sees the giant demon. That demon that has killed tons of Mr. Kodaki's students in the past. And then he counts how many Mr. Kodaki students he's killed. And that makes the demon makes the kid really mad. And then he goes and he uses water. Hold on, wait. Alright, everybody, like I said, he uses like the I don't remember the story, but he goes water wheel and then cuts off his neck. And remember, he isn't as mad as, remember, he's actually pretty nice, so he still does the sad eyes. And then the thing remembers how he killed his brother and ate his brother to become a demon and stuff like that. Remember, he still counts down all the people that he's killed from Mr. Kodaki. And then at the end, he shows the sad eyes. And then he still talks to people, talks to like the demons. Hey, do you know how to help this person? I don't remember. How to help my sister become human? Is there a way for a demon to come back to human? And he's like, ah! And then he just cuts him. And then that's the end of the thing where they're about to choose out their ore. So that's where I'm going to leave it off for part 2. Well, next time we'll see what ore they got and show you the rest. Alright, everybody, that's the end of this story.